All right, Chaos Nation, welcome to Chaos Live. Myself, Lee Craft, the Monday Morning Racer, and the voice of Chaos next to me there, David Rattan. David, look, good to be with you. If I happen to drop out at any moment's notice, I will come back for you and everyone else.
Well, that's good to hear. We will hope that doesn't happen, but out there in Big Sky Country, it is beautiful. I'm telling you, I have seen some of your pictures, and it makes me recall a time that I spent a week out there one time at Montana State University in Bozeman. What a beautiful state. I just absolutely loved that experience that weekend. So I know you are surrounded by some gorgeous scenery and some great people, but internet maybe possibly not so much.
It's possible. I just pulled into a place called Fort Benton, and as much as I love doing this show, it's right on the banks of the Missouri in this valley, and I'm like, oh, Lewis and Clark were here. I want to check this out before I lose all the daylight, but I've still got some time yet. But I am driving back east because I've got to be in Topeka, Kansas for the national event for this weekend, helping out Buddy Hole and Doug Foley with their social media. But David, we had in Chaos Nation one heck of a double far as Eddyville Raceway Park and Kearney Raceway Park. The two shows that we had were stellar and Funny Car Chaos, as we all knew, but it was sure on display, is alive and well.
That's a fact, Jack. And I'm here to tell you that both of those races, the racers showed up in mass, in force, and they came with some big smiles on their face, but there was some very serious intention behind those smiles. And the competition, we talked about this a little after the race at Kearney, but this back-to-back 2 weeks, more than once it occurred to me that this may have been a couple of the best races that we've had since 2017 when it all got started. And just the intensity at Kearney. I'm particularly struck by Kearney because of how recent it is, but oh my word, just standing there and watching and seeing how close the action was. And every once in a while, a little wiggle, a little shake, a little bobble or something because of, cars wanting to grab the track and maybe not completely grabbing it. As the days wore on, as we got from Friday into Saturday, and as the rounds went on, the bite was just continually getting better, and the numbers began to drop on the elapsed time, and the speeds went up, and we had, we just had outstanding competition, and it was all through the classes A, B, C. They were all three just nip and tuck and so tight, and upsets just at one after the other, and it's very exciting racing, and there was just no way to. I don't think there was any way that you could, think that you could see better racing than what our racers at Funny Car Chaos at Kearney and Eddyville both put on for the fans. It was stellar, and each and every one of them have the right to hold their heads up high and understand that they can, they've got some great performances behind them, and of course it's the people that make it happen. It's the machinery and all, but it's the people that make it happen. And the gelling of the teams, this time of the year when these teams have been working together all through the year, and they are, they're working out, they're figuring out each other's moves, and they kind of know what each other's going to do, and they know the routine, and they've really gotten it down. And we saw a little rust in Eddyville, but it did not take long for people to really get back to where they were dialed into each other, and they got those cars dialed into the racetrack, and they got them down the racetrack in a hurry, and the competition was absolutely incredible.
It was. And I think we're going to have an incredible show tonight. Ken Singleton, we're going to have him on. He has been back at the track. We're going to chat with him right here on Chaos Live and what it's been like to be back at the track. And then our most recent A-Field winner, Jeff Cameron. He got the monkey off his back, the proverbial monkey, and got that win in the A field. And maybe we have a tighter run in the championship race than we thought going into the final races. We'll see what Jeff Cameron can do, but it's going to be good to chat with him in just a few moments later on in the show after Ken Singleton. So, David, before we bring our guests on, let's dive deep into Eddyville in particular before we bring Ken on. So, Eddyville, over 30 funny cars in the Midwest. I didn't know the Midwest had 30 funny cars and would all, much less go to Eddyville, Iowa. We had the incident with Dave Gallegos in the corn, destroyed the car, got some air. Twist and Shout visited the corn, but came out A-OK, a little bit of body work, went back out on the track. The Irish Car Bomb folks, usually a front engine dragster, but they bring out a funny car. Tim Cullinan, they get their first win in their first time ever in chaos. Kirk Williams does Kirk Williams things, goes on and wins. And Wayne Hoffman, who we'll definitely be talking about later when we break down Kearney, well, he picks up a win in Funny Car Chaos competition all the way from Connecticut to do the double. That race you alluded to in that it was stellar. Yes, it was. So many storylines coming out of Eddyville, and what a great place to have all the stories develop.
It really is. I call it the park, Eddyville Raceway Park, but it is such a beautiful park-like atmosphere there with the trees and the greenery. And of course, we go to cornfields frequently, especially since we've been running in the Midwest, which we've been doing since 2018. That Havana race was the first chaos in the cornfield, but we've had quite a few of those. But at the park at Eddyville, man, you cannot say enough about that place and how the staff takes care of things. And of course, every place we go, there's highlights and there's features of the racetrack that make it unique and that make it special. But Eddyville really has that park-like atmosphere, and it's just a great place to hang out. That would be a good, I don't want to give anybody any negative ideas, but that'd be a great RV park, during the off season.
Well, it is cool to see Gerald and the team there, Gerald Kramer, owner-operator. They are doing more beyond just drag racing. He mentioned that they had a drive-in type of show with the Mustang Club, and this Mustang Club is apparently known by Roush and Celine and the big names in the Mustang world. They drove in and filled the place up, and we had a good crowd there ourselves for a bunch of floppers. And I'm curious, you've been around the Chaos brand much longer than I have, beyond the actual first Chaos, because whoever won that was their first Chaos, and they won the first Chaos. What Tim Cullinan was able to do in the Irish Car Bomb team, have we seen anything quite like that in Funny Car Chaos competition before?
I'm going to have to say that there's a few that you can go back to. And I'm going to have to, I'd have to go back and look at the records to see who all were the first ones to just really come, maybe having just put a car together. Of course, Ken Singleton was the first one. We will talk about him. We will talk about what he's accomplished, but I'll give you a little preview on it. Ken didn't race it at the first one, and they put the funny car together from their altered chassis. And we had 4 chaos races in 2018. Ken ran 3, and he was undefeated. So not only do you have somebody that comes in first time at a chaos race that wins, which happens on occasion, but Ken and that high risk team, they came in and they went 9-0. They ran 3 races. They never lost a round. They were 9-0 and undefeated, and that was kind of the deal going into 2019 is, can anybody beat Singleton? And, he had a great season in 2019. Ken never had a bad season. And I've got some stats for that when we bring Ken on. But there have been a handful that have come in like that. When you think about when you think about Doug Schneider, it wasn't his first race. His first race that he came in, he wound up runner up. And, we've been seeing that group from Colorado coming back and showing up. And of course, a team from that camp with Dale Hill, David Hill got the win at Kearney in the B field in his first try. So that was you had Wayne over at Eddyville. Now that was his second try, same as some others. And then David, that was his, I think his third race or something. But on an ongoing basis, let me look and see. Trying to think who won their very first race. Not many. I'm looking at the winners for this year. Alan Middendorf might have come in and won his first race at the American Outlaw. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look at it. But we've seen people come and, sometimes it's like, it was just their day. And rarely do we have someone come in and just completely dominate. And, every single race of Tim Cullinan, that team was competitive. It wasn't like that there was anybody that nobody could touch him. Far from it. It was all very, very competitive, but they just stepped up and wound up being a few hundredths ahead of the guy in the other lane and wind up getting it done.
That they did. And we've got plenty more to talk about from this Funny Car Chaos double that we just wrapped up, beginning at Eddyville Raceway Park and ending at Kearney Raceway Park. But David, how about without any further ado and talking of this and that, we get the champ on, Mr. Ken Singleton.
Let's do it, brother.
All right. So folks, after the break, you'll see me and David, and then since I'm doing this on my cell phone, it's a little few extra steps after the commercials, but we will have Ken on in just a few moments. All right, let me bring Ken in, and he is added to the stream. Mr. Singleton, it's been good to see you back at the track, and I'm sure you can express to us that it's far greater for you, for yourself, to be back at the track.
Yeah, it was a really good deal to show up at Eddyville, and the fans and teams really made me feel at home coming back, and was really glad to be there.
Well, champ, it was great to see you and have you back. And of course, we've seen some of the family as you guys have continued to make efforts in your racing operation and in high risk, just shifting gears a little bit differently. But man, it was such a thrill to see you. And of course, everybody has been so appreciative of all that you and your family have contributed to Chaos and to racing in general. So we're glad to have you back. I want to take you back to June 3rd of 2017, and that is San Antonio and final round Outlaw Fuel Altereds. You're in one lane, Nitro Nick Polson is in the other lane. And that was, that was a final round in Outlaw Fuel Altereds, and that was just a few short months. Oh, everybody, Ken won that race, by the way. And and it was a good one. It was a really good match. But a few months later, Chaos, the first one, would take place. And I don't remember I didn't know that Chaos was coming down the line at that time. Did you know? And as we got towards the end of September, which was 29th and 30th of September 2017, had you thought about becoming part of Chaos, just didn't get it done in time?
Yeah, we were wanting to go to that first race, and we just didn't get it done. I mean, we tried, and it just wasn't going to happen. And Chris had talked to me about it at the Altered Banquet, and I always wanted to run a funny car, and I thought, this would be a cool deal. And but we didn't get it done for the first one, but we did. I mean, for that last race, that first race. But after that, we did get it together. So
Yeah, I'll say you did. I'll say you guys did get it together. And this is one of those things. And if people that have been at the races may have heard this come over the PA, but just the record, 2018, there were 4 races. You guys went to 3 of them. Ken Singleton undefeated, 9-0 in 2018. We didn't have a championship that year, but if we did, you would have run away with it because it was just it was the high risk show every time you guys showed up. Now, in all the years that you continued to run, though, listen to these stats: 20 final rounds, and in those final rounds, 74 or 65%, 13 wins, 7 losses. So 13-7 in 20 finals in a total of 27 races that they ran. He ran 71 rounds of competition, won 58. Now, you talk about that in terms of baseball, that would be an .817 batting average, 81.7%, 8 out of 10 runs, over 8 out of 10, high risk, got the win line. And so just that kind of stats, it just kind of shows everybody why his name changed from Ken to Champ. It's like, this guy wins everything all the time. You've got a great family and a great team that have been working together for probably from the time of the boats. Is that right?
yes, yeah. Actually, my brother, he's been with me from the beginning. Without my daughters and my wife and my brother and my mom, and used to be my dad before he passed. But it was always a big family deal for us. I mean, that was what made it fun. It was something we could do together.
Well, and after the unplanned time off, now you guys are back, and you've got quite a few things. You have quite a few people reaching out and saying, "Hey, can we possibly get you to assist us? Tell us what you've got going on, because we see you all over the place and get indications that you've got a little bit of consultation going on several different fronts."
Well, my number one deal is I'm helping Shane Lawson. He's my number one who we're trying to speed up. But I do help Larry Bradford a little bit. And, Brandon McKinney is Jeff's crew chief. And I talk to Jeff a lot. I don't know that I help him, but I think we maybe help each other. But Jeff Cameron's the crew chief. And but yeah, we're having a lot of fun. It's definitely a different role than what I'm used to. But we're having fun. It's definitely a challenge.
Well, you're giving a lot of direction, and Lee, you've watched Ken for a period of time from a distance, and some from a little bit from up close. But Ken is very much he doesn't engage in a lot of talking about it. He jumps right in and makes things happen and gets things done. And of course, now you've got other people that you're conveying this to that you maybe haven't been working with, for years and years, like the family operation. Tell us about that dynamic, and what does it feel like to be the teacher now instead of instead of the competitor?
Well, like I said, it's a different role. I'm having to learn how to do it. It's definitely different than what when I'm running my own program. You kind of got to adapt to the programs that are there, and take the car, which the cars are not my car. They're different. I mean, even if they're really close, they're different. They're different weights. They got different gear race shows. They got different heads. Everything makes them a little bit different. And that's the challenge, is taking that car and making it run a good number. And you know, like Shane's, we've sped it up every round. But, you know, we're really looking forward to Mocan. I think Mocan is running. We're finally getting there where we're making some ground so we can make some headway. But that's the challenge for me. And my family, my daughter and my wife, are like, they were at Eddyville and Kearney. I think the rest of my family needed a break. Other than my mom will be at Dallas. She's coming to Dallas. She wants to be able to tell everybody hi. But she don't have any T-shirts to sell, so that kind of put her out of a job. But you know, Shane's family's great. I'm kind of adopted their family. That's kind of my new extended family, is Shane's family.
Well, you've really got an extended family that is quite large, as all of CHAOS Nation has embraced you guys through the years, and it's really fun. All those family, you know, you're talking about your mom. If somebody out there, I bet somebody out there will snap her up and ask her if she would like to sell T-shirts, because there's certainly none better.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, I used to make fun of her. I said, "You're just like a carny." I said, "You just drag them in."
Hey, Ken, look, to get your mom back out there selling some T-shirts, I know the perfect phrase and design. Get a picture of yourself and like a caption coming out, and it says, "I'm here to kick Kirk Williams' ass." Boom! There you go. That will go wide. That will sell.
Well, I'll tell you what. I might try to get her to come to Mocan. I know she'd go if we can get it all worked out. She'd show up at Mocan because she misses everybody. She's a people person. She really likes talking to people, and she really misses that.
She watches it on.
And she watches Flow Racing. I mean, she keeps up with what's going on.
After every round, she'll call. Well, what happened? Tell me what happened.
Yeah.
That's great, Miss Jeannie. You keep plugging in, and we hope to see you back at the track. Well, Mocan is coming up. You've had considerably. That was the first race that you went to with the funny car, and that's where you started that undefeated streak. Was up there at Mocan Dragway. So you certainly have a good record there, and I kind of pick up on the idea that you're pretty excited about what you think might be able to happen at Mocan.
Yeah, we are. I am, for sure. I think we could maybe make some pretty big strides up there. We got a lot of good notes off of that racetrack, and just trying to, and we found out a lot at Kearney. So, you know, we made 2 full pulls at Kearney, and they were consistent. I said, all right, now we kind of got it going our way. We can start speeding it up now. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, the same thing goes for Kirk Williams as it used to be said, you know, for you. If you're going to beat Ken Singleton, or if you're going to beat Kirk Williams, you better bring your lunch, because it's going to take all day. It's going to take everything you've got. And
well, I told him at Eddyville, I said, just put shoe polish on the side of it, dude. I said, dadgum. It's a bracket car. So,
yeah.
And he went good at Kearney too. Anytime he's up there, you better expect it. He's going to run good.
Yeah. You know, when we first got started with this, could you have imagined that we would be having points lists and showing up with 60, 70, 80, 90 cars running Funny Car Chaos in a given year?
No, because you remember the first one. What was there? Was there 9 cars? Was there? I forget how many was at the first race.
Oh, well, at Mocan there were 10 that entered, and one
10. Okay.
Yeah, one broke.
And to go from where that is,
the first one that you didn't race, that there was 22.
Right.
And then we just had the 8-car field at Mocan, and we had 10 show up. Yeah.
But from there to where the chaos has gone is pretty amazing, really. That there's that many funny cars that are showing up. It's pretty cool, really. Honestly, really cool.
Well, we're certainly having fun with it, and getting a chance to see all the different types of combinations. You know, people running different fuels, different types of superchargers, different types of blocks and heads, and it's just, you know, when Chris came up with the concept of, you know, if it's a funny car, it can run. You bring your own combination. That seems to be a very magic little formula that we've got working for us there.
Oh yeah, yeah. The B and the C is, you know, whoever thought of that? Chris Graves. You know, where you could take a 440 car and qualify and maybe win a race. You know, I mean that's never happened before in a funny car, really. So that's pretty cool. It's really that's why it's brought out so many cars. You didn't have to be a 370 car. So that's, I mean, Chris had a vision and it worked.
Yeah, it is, and we're all getting the benefit of that. So between now and Labor Day weekend, when the MoCan situation happens, what's on your agenda?
Well, we are going to take a little vacation here next week, and we're going to go out to New Mexico and just try to get away. I really need to give my wife a break. I mean, she's like been by my side this whole time, and I think she's more wore out than me. And we're going with my brother and one of my crew guys, Corey. We're all going to take side by sides out there and just have a little fun, and really looking forward to that, just to do something different. So we are going to Tulsa this weekend. We're going to go up to the no prep teams. Me and my wife and Morgan and her husband and Shane and Bonnie, we're all going to go out there and just hang out and watch drag racing.
Right. And then go out for something. So it's not racing all the time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll be honest, until my accident, I really didn't have another hobby. I mean, racing was it. And I've kind of, Boyd's always been big in the razor deal, you know, and me and him have really been best friends since high school. And I kind of thought I got to do something to go hang out with him. So we got a razor so we could just, I miss him. So
yeah, well,
but he is by far my best friend, and I miss him a lot. That was one reason why racing was so much fun, was I was doing it, not just him, but the whole crew I had was just an exceptional bunch of guys, all of them. And but Boyd, he is the guy that I could always bounce everything off of, and sometimes he'd tell me I was freaking nuts. You know, he's like, "That won't work. What are you thinking?" But you know, but at least I had somebody to tell me that, you know, and that always it mattered a lot. Still does on everything. I talked to him tonight. He come over and we talked a little bit about some different things here at the house, and he helps me even more now because I can't do some things, and he's always at my beck and call. He'll come over and do whatever.
Well, that's fantastic, and that is not surprising, because to see the interaction between all of you in the family, that whole high risk team has always been gratifying to see just how close and how tight knit you are. And I think that contributed very much to the fact that you guys didn't have to wonder about what was being done and was it being done right. You had complete confidence in each other that that the car was going to be right.
It's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I never even questioned the car. I mean, Boyd was always. I mean, all I did was ever put the program in. I mean, I tuned it and put the main jet in it and done that, but I never did even look at the car. In fact, I always got chewed out if I come out there and like, "You guys need help?" And they're like, "You need to get back in there. We got this handled." You know, and Boyd and Double D, David, between the two of them, I never worried about the car. I mean, the car was always ready and right. And who? Oh, well, I always knew it, that I never had to worry about the car. I mean, they had the car to handle. And David was a guy that if there was a loose bolt on that car, he'd find it. You know, I mean, it's crazy. He'd come up and say, yeah, I found this bolt loose. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, but he get back and they go looking all over it, you know, while they're doing maintenance, and they always was on top of everything. I just never worried about it at all.
That's great. Well, it showed. It certainly showed. And so you guys have got you got other people that you're consulting for, and you had you guys have gotten into the promotions business, or Morgan has anyway, and so y'all have just not let things slow you down. You're just sailing right on, and it's a great example for anybody else. So as a 3-time champ, and would have been 4th if there was a championship that particular year, a lot of people look to you as a mentor, as an example of someone who they might aspire to be like. If you were advising someone who's racing right now in junior dragsters or brackets or another eliminator category, and they aspire to be a champion funny car racer, what would Ken Singleton's advice be to that aspiring young racer?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough question, really. You got to have the want to, and that a lot of racers have that, and you got to believe in yourself. And racing really is a 24-hour-a-day job. For me, it was. I mean, I lived, eat, and breathed it. I mean, if I wasn't at the track, I was probably down in the shop working on it. If I wasn't working on it, I was staring at it, trying to figure out how to make it talk to me to make it go faster. You also got to come up with a pretty good crew, and they need to be people you can trust and people that become your really, really good friends. I mean, my crew, other than a couple of them, they'd been with me for since 2013. I mean, we had the same guys since 2013, and
some of those guys were boat guys.
And yeah, they were with me in the boat deal. And Bob Raber is another guy that don't get mentioned much, but he was my partner and a very, very good friend. And it don't help to have sponsors because it's going to cost a lot of money. But you need somebody that you can talk to. I mean, my guy that I talk to, I had a couple people that I look up to even to this day. One of them would be Jackie Stidham, and the other would be Jimmy Jones. And I think the world of both of them. And I call them all the time. I mean, on the way home from a race, I'd call them, and talk to them about the race. Because I knew they'd either heard about it or watched it, and I wanted their opinion. I mean, because I knew that these guys have done it for 30 years. They've done things that it just always meant a lot to me, and both of them were always pretty honest about what I did and what I screwed up at, and how to fix it, and how to make it go faster. That's the whole name of the game, really, in a funny car is, faster is not fast enough. It's got to keep going faster.
That seems to be the case, and great advice right there. A network of friends, a network of teammates, and a real drive. If you're going to be a champion, not just somebody that shows up, if you're going to be a champion, I guess you better have a little want to, as you say. And
be willing to work.
Yeah, be willing to work.
It's
too.
not easy. I mean, everybody thinks it's easy. I've had people tell me that it was easy. I was like, it wasn't ever easy. I mean, it's a lot of work. I don't see that I'm at the shop every night till 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and I didn't get home till 6 from work, and then you grab a sandwich and go to the shop, and you work on it till 10:30, 11 o'clock. And you do that most every night. And on weekends, you're down there at least half of the day. And, it's like the 4th of July this year. The girls, they're like, "You're lost." I said, "You guys don't understand." I said, "I would have been at the shop this afternoon. I don't have a car to work on." So I said, "I am lost a little bit." I said, "I'm having to rethink my brain, that I'm not going to be owning a car anymore. I mean, so I don't go down there every night and work on it." Well, it really has been kind of a struggle with me. Everybody thinks I'm kind of down or whatever. So it's not really that. I'm just kind of lost.
Yeah.
But we're getting there.
Yeah. Well, you've got cars to think about and let the brain power work on it, and a little less physical exertion on it, and maybe a little more thought on somebody else's car that is counting on you to bring them up to that level, that level of excellence that you established. Ken, what a joy to spend time with you again, and we look forward to seeing you and your family and all those that are racing with you as we all race together in chaos. And we appreciate again you taking the time to tune in with us and talk to Chaos Nation. Everybody's excited to hear from you and to hear from your family and to see your family. And so we again want to say thanks to all of you, and appreciate you spending some time with us again tonight.
Oh, you bet. It's been an honor. We will.
Good to have you on, Ken. Good to have you on, and I want those T-shirts made. I'm gonna be first one in line. Okay. Oh, we'll let you enjoy the rest of your evening, man. Take care.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Boom. All right. That was Ken Singleton, folks. The champ, the winningest driver in Funny Car Chaos Series history. And it's so good to see the story and the way that it's going, and him out there and still getting after it. Yes, in a different way. And David, look, I was a welding instructor at the high school level and at the collegiate level, and I spent several years in the welding industry. And I saw this photo of Ken Singleton, who is a welder, with now what has happened after the incident at Ennis. He's attempting to learn how to weld in his condition. And it's amazing to see him attempting to do that. So the man is a no-quit man and a great representative to all of us of gumption and determination. So, folks, keep your eye on Ken Singleton.
Absolutely, there'll be more to see, and we talked about this. I remember I talked about this sometime with you. I think that there was a confidence in one of the racers that he is counseling, working with some, that really was noticeable, and that championship outlook, and Ken does not have a monopoly on that. We've got some extremely talented racers that brim with confidence and know that they've got what it takes, and they've got the fruit on the tree. And but to see the level of excellence raised week to week, month to month, race to race, it's very exciting to see people. We talk about it all the time, living the dream. And folks are living their dream at a higher level, perhaps, than they ever imagined possible. I can't celebrate that enough.
For sure. Well, speaking of someone living a dream, how about we take a break and we bring Mr. Jeff Cameron on? We chat with him about breaking through and getting that A-field win right here on Chaos Live. Chaos Nation, whether you are near or far, you can finally represent Funny Car Chaos wherever you are at. TheChaosStore.com is the place to visit to get your merch from the world's only Outlaw Funny Car Series. And there's even exclusive deals online, as in the 3 t-shirts you are seeing right now on your screen. But it's more than just the tees. You can get your Funny Car Chaos stickers, hats, beanies, everything else. World of Funny Car Chaos there at thechaosstore.com. And now, adding to the stream, Mr. Jeff Cameron, the most recent A-Field winner in Funny Car Chaos competition. Welcome to the show, Jeff. Uh-oh.
What's up, man?
Oh, there it is.
How you doing?
Awesome.
There you are.
Well, we don't.
What's up?
We don't get to see your lips move, but we can hear you, so that's good. We got that going for us. Well, man, congratulations.
Well,
You must be savoring that Marvin Rodak blend of custom coffee after your weekend at Kearney.
you know what? I enjoy that regularly every morning. So that's good stuff. I'm into that.
Hey, tell me, when you were
Yeah.
making the drag in Levelland, Texas, all those years ago, thinking about being a funny car pilot, did you ever imagine it would feel like you felt Saturday night? Was that a dream come true? Was it just what you expected, or was it maybe even elevated a bit?
You're cutting out on me, David.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
we can hear you now. Got a challenging internet connection there, I think.
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Okay.
All I heard was Levelland, and that made me nauseous.
Oh, okay. Well, when you were making the drag in Levelland, Texas, thinking about being a funny car racer, because you and I have talked about it, you wanted to be a funny car racer a long time. Did that win at Kearney feel like you expected, or was it even better?
Oh, it was definitely even better. That was unexplainable at best. Is all I can say. It was that good. It really was.
Well, I kind of thought it might be. You have been knocking on the door all through the year. You've got a semi-final finish and a couple of runners up, and closed the deal at Kearney. So
Yeah.
it's been. Everybody's been expecting this, but to come through with low ET and top speed of the meet, that was kind of a statement there in the final round.
That was a big statement, and you think about it. We with the old combination in Louisiana, we ran 372.01. So I know the track was different, but the motor we have now, which is Ken's old motor, and it's a killer motor. I expect even more out of it. You understand what I mean by that? But to go 382, basically 200 in the final round, that was a big statement.
Well, the elevation up there, or the density altitude being near 6,000 feet, that makes it even more impressive.
Yeah, that's for sure. And Brandon, we've struggled all year, last 3 or 4 races anyway, with transmission troubles, and we just couldn't. We were fighting it and couldn't figure it out, and we basically changed transmissions, and at Kearney on Friday morning, and so we struggled through trying to find the combination, and man, did he find it in the final round. He really found it. So I'm very proud of Brandon McKinney.
Now, did you start working with Brandon just this year, or did y'all have some work some together last year?
Oh, when we switched to a Hemi, I bought the original Hemi from him, and I signed him on to come on board and help us, and we hurt that motor in Odessa this year, and we couldn't get parts soon enough to make the next races. So I bought the motor from Ken shortly thereafter. Went from there. You know what I mean?
All right. So we've seen some pictures from your little piece of heaven down there, Meg's place. You guys turning some dirt, getting ready for something new to spring up out of the ground?
We poured 50,000 square feet of concrete today. So we've been nonstop since about 2 o'clock this morning, and this guy's plenty tired. We didn't get home till yesterday from Kearney. I went to bed and woke up at 2:30, and we started pouring concrete about 3:30, and we just stopped like an hour ago. So I'm a little tired.
Well, I'm glad you were able to spend some time with us this evening, but we certainly want to celebrate the win with you, and know it's been a long time coming. So you've got yourself into the whether you consider the drop or whether you don't, you've got yourself into that title chase as you have continually moved right on up that points list. Now you're in the second spot. What's the game plan for Mocan and Ennis?
Man, you know what? We're just that's all up to Brandon. Brandon knows what to do. He knows what we need, and we're coming for all we can get. You know what I mean? I mean, Brandon's just like me. He's a very humble guy and very quiet, and he knows he wants to win just as bad as I do. So we're going to do all we can do to the next two races, and the outcome will be what the outcome will be. And everybody in my camp and family and all that is 100% behind me, and we're gonna go as hard as we can go. And at the end of the day, in us, it will be what it'll be. But next year, I can promise you it'll be a different story.
He's laid it on the line here tonight, folks, that 2023, Cameron is coming for everybody.
That's a fact.
All right.
Yep.
All right. You know what? I'm sitting here with my SHRA shirt on, and I know that quite a few hours of racing were spent doing that SHRA for quite a number of years, and I was looking at the number of people that came from there and have stepped into Funny Car Chaos, and of course there's your beautiful Black Austin, and from Andy Mears to the Bradfords to Vang to Clay Cunningham and Smokey Blanton, Randy Mueller, Wes Brighton, of course Chris and Tara all raced in that. And then coming up next year too, one of the guys that will be another contender or another one trying to make his own statements, Keith Zimmer, who's he's Lone Star Forklift Outlaw Fuel Altered champion, used to race with us in that too. So quite the farm club, if you will. But a lot of us have been doing this together for quite some time and making a lot of new friends along the way. How much are you enjoying the old relationships and plus the new people that are joining us?
And the more the merrier, and bringing on Keith Zimmerman. Him and his pops, man, they are really good people, and I welcome them with all I got and all my team has, and that car they bought's a beautiful car, so they'll fit right in. I expect them to go right to the top and be a contender real early. So super great people there, and anybody else that comes on board, they get tired of that NHRA crap, so they can come on to Funny Car Chaos and support Chris and Tara and Levi, and it'll be good.
I know it's especially gratifying for you to race having that Jake's name on the side of the car. And of course, it's always been on your car, but now with the new car and the new color scheme on it, really pops, really looks great, and paying tribute to one of the most important people in your lives. How's that feel? Is that I mean, I know that the rest of us feel that spirit as you bring that Jake Speed Shot car to the line.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Sometimes that's hard to talk about.
Yeah, well, I can see that, and we'll. I think all of us know just exactly how important your children are to you, and so that's one of the reasons a lot of people celebrate Jeff and Mary Cameron so much, and of course having the chance to see Meg at the races, man, she is really enjoying the backup girl dress and hanging around with all of her friends and making new friends all the time. That's such a blast to see her enjoying it so much.
Yeah. Meg, she's something else. But, Jake, to win that for Jake, that was pretty good.
Well, I know it was. And I know it was, and Chaos Nation is celebrating with you. Lee, you have any questions for Jeff?
Well, we've all been waiting for this win, and he breaks through, he gets the win, but I do have to ask Jeff, I didn't get a head count. How many people were over there in the semifinals, after the semifinals, before the final round, from the rest of the Chaos pits? Like, who all did help out?
Yeah, I'm pretty blessed. I got a lot of friends. Matt from over at the Detroit Tiger guys, he come over wanting to help. And Clay, of course, me and Clay are a lot alike. Clay's a good dude. Love him to death. Jared Lawler, Becky, my backup girl, and all those people, Doc, Diana, all those people are I'm from West Texas. I'm from close to Dumas. I mean, we think a lot alike. So, it's just normal to help each other out. My guys go over and help Clay when he had troubles. Clay's guys come over and help us. I mean, that's what Funny Car Chaos is about. If you can't go over, if Kirk and them needed help, we'd be there in a heartbeat. I love those guys to death, and I truly mean that. To get that win at Kearney was the highlight of my life. I'm not gonna lie, but I can't explain enough how Funny Car Chaos has brought everybody together, and that's how it's supposed to be. If you're not okay with somebody helping somebody else out, then you're in the wrong place. I just don't know how to explain that. You understand what I mean?
I do.
I like that thinking, and I like that word on it. It's the way it's supposed to be.
Well, I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's how I was raised, and if you can't help your competitor or whatever, then there's something wrong. I mean, you're not in the right place, or your head's not right, or whatever, however you want to look at it. But you know, Jake is where he is for a reason. But Meg Meg takes care of things, so she's got everything under control.
Well, man, it's been a pleasure spending time with you tonight. Again, congratulations on the win. We know that
Yes, sir.
You're in some rarefied air up there in that up there near the top of the points list, and we can't wait to see what the rest of the season brings and future seasons in Funny Car Chaos for Cameron Family Racing.
Absolutely.
And thanks for all you do for everybody in the pits, everybody in the organization. You know that we have the chapel service over at your place, and we have
that's just
yes,
sir.
Driver meeting and all that kind of stuff
like
there. So we appreciate
I'd like
it.
to tell. Yes, sir. Yep. I'd like to thank the gardeners for all they do for us, and my wife, and everything's good. Chris and Tara, they give us a great place to race and a great format. And man, if you can't like some of that, there's something wrong with you. So we appreciate all you guys do, and we'll see you at MoCan.
All right, great.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Congratulations once again.
Thanks,
and
sir.
I expect we'll have many more of these conversations right here on Chaos Live. Take care, man. All right. Well, David, look, getting near the end of the show, definitely will take the time to speak about Kearney. But in between Eddyville and Kearney, got to say thank you to Matt and Brandy Nissen. Is that right? All right. Yes, Matt and Brandy. They're in Alma, Nebraska. They have got a great spot in Little Alma that these teams can resort to and RV and camp or glamp, however you want to put it, and get out on their boat and just enjoy a vacation in between two races. And I personally want to say thank you to Matt and Brandy. They let me actually stay in their home on this road trip and great Midwest West tour. So that was a huge help to me because I didn't have to camp in 90-degree weather. That was nice. But it was a great time in between races. And next year, if you're a part of the Funny Car Chaos Nation, even if you're like a fan, follow along and join in and take the time and relax, rejuvenate, and do it there in the middle of nowhere that is, in fact, somewhere of a something in Alma, Nebraska.
Yeah, that was the feedback from that 2 years in a row now has been outstanding. When you hear people say things like this is the best 2 weeks of my life, then you know that there's some really powerful relationships being built and that the camaraderie is next level. And
yes.
we love that being a part of chaos, of the Chaos family.
For sure. David, Kearney was hot. And I don't say that often. Like, it's got to be really, really hot for me to start saying things are hot. But it was hot. And that affected the, fans, competitors, and the competition. And we got a great show because of it.
Yeah, that is so true. And, from where I sit, I don't have to deal with the brutality of the heat, but it was brutal. And unfortunately had to stop the race about 3 or 4 times because of emergency personnel needing to attend to the needs of someone who got too hot. And but you got to do it. It's the people that make, that are the most important thing. So we would stand down and everybody was patient while the emergency crews did their thing and got back into position. But you could not tell, other than a brief delay for each of those times, the racing was absolutely on point. We don't want to beat this horse to death, but the racing was incredible.
Yes.
By any stretch of the imagination, by every measure.
the storylines through it, like the heat. There's a video on Facebook of following the Wayne Hoffman Odyssey, if you will, from a Seafield win to dropping out from heat exhaustion after a thrashing turnaround after Q3 to go to round 1 of eliminations, and then to run as fast and as quick as he did, but doing it all hailing from Connecticut, that story. And then I think of Mike Buchanan. He wins in Lufkin, and he's like, I just never dreamed of this. And here he is. He wins another one. And I'm like, dude, you got to stop dreaming and just accept reality. You got a team that can show up and get it done. You're running consistently and good enough. And then David Heel winning his first one, Jeff Cameron breaking through, and each and every round of competition that we had between all of those, it was a good day of racing. And look, shout out to Kearney Raceway Park. They had an interesting little program there. I loved the Kids Win a Bike coloring contest. And yes, I got in on the action and I colored something too, but they wouldn't let me win a bike. I think there's some age discrimination there, but it was great to see. There was a lot of kids over there coloring in funny cars and Top Fuel Dragsters and Pro Stock cars and Chevelles and like a super street car. But that was neat to see them doing that around and associated with a CHAOS event.
They do a great job at Kearney, and with Joe and Nicole and their team right there, they do a terrific job. They think of those extra little things like that, because I'm a grown up, I like to come to the races and watch the races, and I also like to talk about it while it's happening. But that's my thing. But when I was 4 or 5 years old, if my parents wanted to go to the races, that might not have been all that great a day for me. However, the staff at Kearney bringing that coloring contest in, and of course bringing the food vendor in so that the concession stand was not completely swamped. A great idea and a great thing there. And the work that they continue to do up there, putting in permanent restrooms, which is a big deal at a racetrack. And it's we go right back to the first of the season when Billy Meyer was talking about playing major league sports in minor league, parks, and wanting to have nice permanent restrooms. Well, they're on board with that at Kearney, and that community, that's such a great community. I had, I can't tell you how much fun it is to go up there and just experience. Just the guy checking us in at the hotel, very professional, very nice, and I got a chance to talk with quite a few people up there, and that part of the country is just a really good place to be, and a place where you can experience warmth and friendship and fellowship, and it can just feel pretty good about being wherever you are. So hats off to Joe and Nicole and Jared and David and all the staff and everybody there at Kearney Raceway Park. I can't call the roll because I don't know everybody's name, but I do know that they are committed to putting on a good show, and we are excited that we were able to be a part of that with them. So you're right. Great job by them, and it goes right back to Eddyville. We talked about them earlier, the things that they do as well. So we've got a great little group of racetracks that we run at, and that list expanded one to Cordova this year, and who knows where it might go. Who knows where it might go next? Not sure, but we really enjoy the fellowship at all these different racetracks, and seeing what their unique brand of putting on a race brings to the table. So, again, hats off to the great job up there.
Kearney was a great place to visit. First time I've ever been there, and yes, fascinating little town, great little facility of a track. I don't think I've ever been somewhere that had that much runoff. It was insane being down there in the top end, and like guys computing, like, do I pull the chutes or what do I do to get to the end, and what the turnaround was like. And look, I'm behind on several behind the chaoses. They will be out there. They will be rolling out on YouTube because I've got Mocan Nitro Chaos behind the chaos, got Funny Car Chaos Eddyville behind the chaos, and then we've got the Kearney Funny Car Chaos behind the chaos, and I'm really really interested in that one, and I almost just want to skip forward to it because I went down to the top end and basically did like some top end interviews and got some footage from a different angle, and it's going to be quite fascinating, I believe. But folks, remember, hit the like button right here, subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure you are following Instagram and Facebook Funny Car Chaos because there's a lot of great content there as well as there is on the YouTube channel. You just need to be following everything chaos. It's the happening and going thing in drag racing right now. So get on the bandwagon because it's going places. And David, speaking of going places, we've already got one date announced for 2023, and I failed to write down any notes because I've been driving and trying to find a signal and happened to found it in Fort Benton, Montana. But we're back at the Motorplex for the big one.
We are. They released the dates for 2023 season opener, the Funny Car Chaos Classic at the Texas Motorplex, and they moved it. It's 1 week sooner instead of the 4th week in March. It's the 3rd weekend in March of 2023. It's on the Funny Car Chaos website. It's on the Funny Car Chaos page on Facebook. It's probably on several other places as well, but it will be publicized again and again to give everybody ample notice to be in the Texas Motorplex in March of 2023. Could we have 70 funny cars? Could we have 75? I don't know. I'm not sure what all is coming with that event, but I do know that between now and then, we're going to be there in October for the World Finals. And keep watching the Facebook page and the website of Funny Car Chaos. The schedule is going to be slightly different as we lead off, as we open up the Stampede of Speed at Texas Motorplex. They've got other things that they are going, and it is a jam-packed 10 days, I think it is, of racing and concerts and social events and just all types of different things. So on Saturday, we'll start a little earlier than we normally do because when the racing is concluded on Saturday evening, they go right into full-blown concerts. And so
party!
It's going to be a party. It's for sure going to be a party. And so you'll watch the schedule. You'll see everything that's coming up that's going to be released about racers that are pre-entered already and specialized events. We like to do a little something extra there for the season opener and the season finale. And, of course, we will be crowning the winners and determining who our champion is, and that those top 5 that will be taking home that Fat Tires Apparel bonus money for the Spell Paving Services Funny Car Chaos Championship here in 2022.
You do not want to miss the Stampede of Speed, especially the Funny Car Chaos portion. And if that's the only thing you can catch, be there.
Yeah, it's going to be a great week, but it starts off on a very, very high note with Funny Car Chaos, so don't you dare miss it.
Yes.
Can't wait to announce for Chris to announce all the things that he's working on. I don't have a clue what all they are, but I know that he is 90 to nothing all day long, and they are putting together some great things. So 2 more races left in the season. We will talk about Mocan on our next show, and after that will be the results of Mocan. So we will continue to bring you Chaos Live, and Lee Craft is continuing to produce that great content, putting it out there on the YouTube page. So be sure to get yourself on that YouTube page, like and subscribe. Every bit of that. Lee, I saw a post from somebody that attended the race in Kearney, and they were from Wyoming or Montana or Colorado or somewhere a distance, and they had never heard of Funny Car Chaos. And they said, I just kind of accidentally stumbled across Funny Car Chaos, while scrolling. So I decided to come to Kearney. So it's the best thing they ever went to. Well, welcome to the family. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the club. glad to have people that discover our merry little band at these little clam bakes and shindigs that we have, and it's more fun than you can imagine. And so, come on out.
Bingo, come on out. I think you're referring to the individual that caught it on Flow Racing first, and then decided to come on out, and was like, "Wow, yes, as you said, this is great." So, if you can't make it to them, all of them, or if you can't make it to none of them, and you're seeing this, yes, you can see it live. You can hear that voice next to me calling all the great action. You can get some stories from me from the pits there on Flow Racing. It's just go to flowracing.com, search for Funny Car Chaos. You'll find it. You'll have to subscribe. It is worth the money if you are a motorsports fan. So you got to come to a Chaos race. You got to work it out. Whether it's the Motorplex, I would highly recommend find one of these little venues that are close to you, whether it's Eddyville, Kearney, Moken, State Capitol, Lufkin, wherever it might be. You need to experience a Chaos race because, David, you and me have talked about this. When people come for the first time, whether fan or competitor, most of the time we're going to see them a second time.
Yeah. There's so much to like. Our teams are so engaging. They've got hero cards to give, and they take the time to engage with the fans. And it's very important to them to see you smile and see you want to come back. And I saw several people at Kearney, what little bit I was able to get out, got out of the tower, but people just having a good time. And if they were kind of by themselves, somebody would come up and say, "Hey, thanks for coming. I'm really glad that you're here." And it's just a pretty darn big deal. And Moken, now we've been talking about these 30 cars coming to the races. We're over 30 for Moken, and it is all, it's just already shaping up to be, and some maybes on there. So once again, we may have we may have over 30 cars again, and it probably will, because that's how many are entered at the moment. There's a few weeks now, and stuff happens, but we will most definitely have the ability to qualify 24 cars, and you just don't see that very often anyplace else but at the Chaos.
Drag racing is alive and well, especially at the Chaos. David, man, it's been an honor and a joy once again to do Chaos Live alongside with you, even if it is in the middle of nowhere in Montana. But I'm going to go check this place out and go get me some grub. So to you and everybody out there in Chaos Nation, God bless and keep the pedal to the metal.
Good night, everybody.
Larice Motorsports Insurance offers drag racers the broadest insurance policies in the industry. Larice Motorsports Insurance was created by racers for racers. Larice insures race cars on and off the track, trailers and equipment. Larice even pays racers contingencies at the fling bracket races. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Larice Motorsports Insurance today.
Not many race car shops can say they've been in business for 60 years, but we can. Here at S&W Race Cars, we specialize in welding and fabricating, designing and building door car, dragster, funny car, and alter chassis. We provide water jet cutting and other production services. We have several thousand roll bars and roll cages, custom tube bending, fabricated 9-inch forward housings, and rear frame kits. We run a full-service machine shop, and so much more we couldn't squeeze into a 30-second commercial. Give us a call at 1-800-523-3353 or visit our website.